Good morning and welcome to Today in the News here in Vanguard Life. My name is Ololade Adeomi. Let's take a look at all our newspapers for today, starting with Vanguard as usual. Major headline on Vanguard says, Edun raises alarm over rising debt service burden. Says debt servicing cost now outstrips foreign financial inflows. G24 across border payments too costly slow, says Cardoso. Members face constrained physical space, says Masha. And look at the top banner. Top banner says El Rufai spends second night in ICPC custody amid multi-agency probe as commission raids residents in Abuja. 6 trillion naira Genco bailout demand iced, says NLC. How we tracked arrested or church attackers, DSS witness tells court. Senate tackles economic team over poor implementation of budget. Terrorists kill 34 fasting Muslims in latest Kebbi attack. Lower banner says 2027 Electoral Act amendment was credible, inclusive, says NASS. Drivers operating under influence will be prosecuted, says Lagos State government. Away from the Vanguard, look into the Punch newspaper. Major headline on the Punch says, Tinubu's executive order, federal government, state, local government allocation may increase by 15 trillion naira. President moves to channel all proceeds directly to Federation account, NNPC, NUPRC, NRS, revenues affected. Tobana says Ayedatiwa versus Tunji Ojo, political cold war sparks killings, violence in Ondo. Federal government defers 70% of 2025 capital budget to 2026. El-Rufai's lawyer protests home raid amid ICPC detention. Lower banner says banditry, CDS. Kwara government rally troops as Operation Savannah Shield begins. And lastly, DSS invites suspects as wife opens up on Daddy Yatta's abductions. Away from that, a look into the Nation newspaper. Major headline on the Nation says, 58.4 trillion naira budget 2026 within safe limit, says Finance Minister. Tobana says Fubara lawmakers set for new dawn, court cases withdrawn. Strictly follow procurement laws, federal government orders MDAs. Ex-Kaduna governor in our custody, says ICPC. And lastly, Rivers mourn as Senator Nkpigi dies at 64. Away from that, a look into the Guardian newspaper. Major line on the Guardian says, African leaders, our oldest presidents tighten grip on youngest continent. Tobana says retract executive order. Pengasan tells Tinubu warns of threat to PIA. NLC fires back at APGC. Gencos over 6 trillion naira bailout demands. Senate grills economic team considers streaming 2026 budget. Lower banner says Rivers Assembly suspends impeachment proceeding against Fubara deputy. Reps to vote on 1999 Constitution Amendment proposals. And lastly, U.S. troops deployment to fight insecurity in national interest, says House of Reps. That's all we have on the front pages of all our newspapers this morning. Join us after the break for a quick analysis. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News here on Vanguard Life. My name is Ololade Adeomi. I look into our first story for today. First story says, Edun raises alarm over rising debt service burden. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has warned that about 50% of low-income countries are in or approaching debt distress requiring urgent actions. It was not clear where Nigeria stands on his assertion, but based on World Bank classifications for 2024-2026, Nigeria is classified as a lower middle income country, not a low income country. However, Nigeria's public debt has sustained upward swing since 2023, with estimated figure at all-time high of $100 billion, while the debt service to revenue ratio is put at 47% in 2025. For more details on this story, check out our website at www.vanguardngr.com. I look into our second story for today. It says 2027 Electoral Act amendment was credible, inclusive, says NASS. The House of Representatives yesterday mounted a robust defense of the newly assented Electoral Act 2026, saying that the law, though imperfect, was enacted in strict compliance with constitutional and parliamentary procedures and reflect the collective will of the National Assembly. This came as the African Democratic Congress (ADC) said it will mobilize Nigerians nationwide to protect the integrity of future elections, accusing President Bola Tinubu of weakening democratic credibility by signing the amended Electoral Act into law. Also, civil society organizations (CSOs) warned that unresolved loopholes in the new electoral law were threatening the credibility of the 2027 polls and fled Tinubu's hasty signing of the electoral bill into law. For more details on this story, check out our website at www.vanguardngr.com. We draw the curtain on the show for today. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms as seen on your screen. For up-to-date stories, check out our website at www.vanguardngr.com. My name is Ololade Adeomi. Until next time, bye for now.